And now Ridge with a throw his own drop.
Big E's scary ringside debacle where he suffered a neck injury proves just how real scripted sport can be. And while we pray for the former world champion's safe and speedy recovery, today we're going to be taking a look at some stars who have suffered similar fates with neck injuries. I'm Sam Laterna, and today I bring you 5 WWE superstars who suffered neck injuries. And if you like this and other topics like it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. At one point, Paige was one of the fastest rising stars in WWE, which is why it's so sad that she had to hang up her boots at the young age of 25. It all happened at a house show in December of 2017, where things got from bad to worse when Paige was hit in the back of the head by Sasha Banks, causing extreme whiplash to the neck of Paige. In an interview with Give Me Sport, Paige recounted the incident and said that her neck simply wasn't strong enough at the time, and that the impact was akin to severe damage from a car accident. Now, Paige has repeatedly said that it wasn't Sasha Banks' fault, it's just the nature of the beast that is pro wrestling. But that didn't stop Paige from ultimately retiring the day after WrestleMania 34, which left fans with a bit of a sour taste in their mouths because who knows what could have been of Paige's career. Hardcore Bob Holly is one of the toughest SOBs to ever walk into a wrestling ring, and yes, he's competed in his fair share of hardcore matches, and proven himself to be one of the hardest hitting individuals to ever step foot in a WWE ring. Unfortunately, toughness only goes so far, and accidents do happen, and that's exactly what happened when he went head to head with Brock Lesnar on one SmackDown episode in 2002. The match quickly devolved and got sloppy, according to Bruce Pritchard, being a match that was not WWE TV quality. As things continued to devolve, a powerbomb went wrong and Brock Lesnar landed Holly right on his neck, taking him out for 13 whole months. You might think you know Brock Lesnar, but you don't. That man called Hardcore Holly before, after, and in months following that surgery. So as Holly has stated before, if you think you know, you don't know. Charlie Haas's WWE career spanned 10 years between 2 different WWE runs. He's a former member of Team Angle and held tag team gold with his partner Shelton Benjamin, but nothing could have prepared him for what happened in 2009 when he got in the ring with a young wrestler by the name of Drew McIntyre. You might have heard of him, not sure though. But anyway, these two were going head to head in the ring, and then out of nowhere, a future shock DDT was hit by McIntyre onto Haas, and Haas heard something crack in his neck immediately. It turns out that Drew McIntyre forgot to release Charlie Haas's hands that were behind him, so he had no way of bracing himself for that impact. Haas returned to WWE months later, but was released in 2010. WWE Hall of Famer Edge has suffered his fair share of injuries in his over 20-year career. But today we're going to cover his first major neck injury. This happened in 2002 on an episode of SmackDown in which he competed against Eddie Guerrero in a ladder match. And you know, anytime weapons get involved, there is a level of unexpectedness that neither the fans nor the wrestlers can predict. On this very night, Edge managed to land back and neck first on a ladder. He heard a crack, and that is when he broke his neck. He continued on with the match and continued fighting on even through numbness. I don't even know how Edge could possibly do that, but then again, considering the fact that Edge has come back after over 10 years away from in-ring action, making a miraculous debut, rehabbing his body and his neck after that injury, and after being diagnosed with cervical spinal stenosis, it's safe to say that Edge is an inspiration to all, fans, wrestlers alike, and we certainly hope to see Edge dominate at WrestleMania 38. Stone Cold Steve Austin tops this list because this was one of the most notorious neck injuries in the history of sports entertainment, period. This all happened at SummerSlam 1997, where the defending Intercontinental Champion, the late great Owen Hart, went head-to-head with Stone Cold Steve Austin. At a later point in the match, Owen Hart decided to deliver a tombstone piledriver to the Texas Rattlesnake, which ultimately landed him on his head, causing him to break his neck and suffer temporary paralysis in the middle of the match. Owen, being the consummate professional he was, stalled the fans until the Texas Rattlesnake was able to regain some composure and feeling in his body. Austin was able to crawl to Owen Hart and get the 3 count, becoming the new Intercontinental Champion. And while Austin needed to be brought to the back and was definitely dazed, the severity of the injury was not initially known. Ultimately, he had to relinquish both the Intercontinental and Tag Team Championship at the time, but made a surprisingly quick recovery, returning to in-ring action only months later at Survivor Series. Austin would go on to wrestle until 2003, when a litany of health concerns and nagging injuries caused him to retire.